Hi everyone, we are OneConnect and we are here to empower your digital confidence. A few years ago, protecting your digital privacy meant choosing a strong password, not clicking on sketchy email links, and maybe turning on two-factor authentication. Today, that advice just isn't enough. We've entered the era of advanced threats. We're talking about AI clones that sound exactly like your family members, invisible physical traps hidden in plain sight, and an entire shadow economy built on buying and selling your digital ghost. In this video, we're going inside the modern privacy playbook. We're covering the 4 critical pillars you need to survive today's internet: detecting AI voice scams, spotting the physical red flags of tampered QR codes, the uncomfortable truth about VPNs, and exactly how to erase your footprint from data brokers. Let's get into it. Imagine getting a call from your child, your parent or your partner. They sound panicked, they claim they've been in an accident or detained and they need money immediately. You know their voice, you'd recognise it anywhere, except it isn't them. With just a 3-second audio clip pulled from a public Instagram story or a TikTok, modern generative AI can clone anyone's voice with terrifying accuracy, inflection, breathing patterns and accent included. This is called voice cloning phishing and it's skyrocketing. So how do you defend against a threat that sounds exactly like someone you love? First, look for AI artifacts. Listen closely for unnatural pauses, a lack of emotional variance when speaking quickly, or a strange robotic compression during syllable transitions. Secondly, and most importantly, implement a family safe word. It sounds extreme, but it works. Establish a distinct, memorable phrase with your inner circle. If you ever get a high-stress call demanding money or sensitive info, ask for the safe word. If they can't give it to you, hang up immediately and call their number back directly.
Honey, are you okay?
I'm right here. I'm fine.
Sure? Are you sure you're alright?
What's the dog's name?
Max. Hey, Janelle. What's wrong with Wolfie? I can hear him barking. Is he okay?
Wolfie's fine, honey. Wolfie's just fine. Where are you?
Both the parents are dead.
Next up is a threat that bridges the gap between the digital world and the physical: QR code phishing. During the pandemic, QR codes became ubiquitous. We used them for menus, parking meters, and concert tickets. But attackers have realised that humans are inherently trusting of physical objects. You probably wouldn't click on a random link emailed to you by a stranger, but you would scan a random QR code pasted on a public utility. When you scan a malicious QR code, it doesn't just take you to a fake website to steal your login credentials, it can silently trigger a malicious profile download on your phone, compromising your entire device. To protect yourself, you need to look for the physical red flags of a tampered QR code. Let's break them down. Number 1. The layered sticker. Before you scan, run your finger over the QR code. Is it printed directly onto the original sign, or is it a separate sticker pasted over the top? Scammers frequently paste their malicious codes right over legitimate ones on parking meters or charging stations. Red flag 2. A misaligned text and branding. Look at the design context. Does the sticker slightly obscure the official logo? Is the font or colour subtly different from the rest of the billboard or machine? If it looks rushed, skip it. And the URL preview mismatch. When you point your camera at a QR code, your phone will generate a text preview of the URL. Look at it before you tap. If you're at a municipal parking meter, the URL should be your cityname.gov or the official payment vendor, not just shortened by a bit.ly link, a random string of characters, or a domain ending in XYZ. If you want personal help with this kind of thing, head over to the OneConnect website. Over there you can discover more expert tips and in-depth tutorials. If you watch literally any tech channel on YouTube, you've probably heard a VPN pitch. They promise complete anonymity, protection from hackers on public Wi-Fi, and total digital invisibility. But let's separate the marketing hype from reality. Do you actually need a VPN in 2026? The short answer is, for basic security, probably not as much as you think. Today, almost every website you visit uses HTTPS. which encrypts your traffic from your device to the website server. If you're on a public Wi-Fi like at a coffee shop, someone lurking on the network can see that you're visiting a site like YouTube or your bank, but they can't see your passwords, your data, or what you're doing on that site. Where a VPN is essential is masking your IP address and location from your internet service provider or local network admins. If you don't want your phone carrier logging every domain you visit to sell to advertisers, then use a VPN. If you're travelling abroad and need to bypass censorship or geo-blocks, use a VPN. But remember, VPN just shifts your trust from your ISP to your VPN provider. Choose one with a strict, independently audited no logs policy. Otherwise, you're just paying someone else to watch you. Finally, let's talk about the root cause of so many modern threats: data brokers. Companies like White Pages, Spokeo, and LexisNexis make a multi-billion-dollar business out of scraping your public records, voting registries, purchase history, and browsing habits. They compile a terrifyingly detailed dossier on you, and anyone from a standard telemarketer to targeted stalker can buy your home address, your phone number, and a list of relatives for less than the price of a cup of coffee. If you want to stop the spam calls and protect your physical safety, you need to scrub this data. You have two options to delete yourself. Option 1 is the manual route. It's free, but it takes time. You have to visit these sites individually, scroll down to the footer, look for a tiny link that says "Do not sell my info" or "Opt out", and fill out the removal forms. It takes hours and you have to repeat it every few months because they will scrape your data again. Option 2 is automation. You can use a dedicated service like Delete Me, Incogni, or Canary. These services act as digital bounty hunters, consistently scanning hundreds of data broker registries, submitting opt-out requests on your behalf, and monitoring to ensure your data doesn't reappear. Whichever route you choose, making your personal information harder to find is the single best way to reduce your attack surface online. The landscape of digital privacy has evolved. It's no longer about hiding, it's about awareness. It's about checking that QR code before you tap it, listening to the subtle tells of an AI voice, and systematically locking down your personal data footprint. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment letting me know which threat surprised you the most, and share this video with a family member, maybe even set up that family safe word today. Stay safe, stay private, and I'll see you in the next one.